October 1st, 2024. Microsoft did something many had predicted, few cared about, and even fewer noticed. But all on that day, Microsoft made an enemy. A powerful, vengeful enemy. Me. The Poopy Show. What did I do? Oh, they removed WordPad from Windows, and that's where I write all my important research notes and stuff. Who cares? No further questions. Hi, in today's episode, I explain in excruciating academic detail why Microsoft's decision to remove an obsolete piece of software really hurt me. Ow. On an emotional level. There are several factors, but before I get into specifics, I want to talk about technology. Technology? In your pattern-seeking caveman ass. More specifically, its tendency to anthropomorphize. Anthropomorphism is the concept of attributing human qualities to an animal, an object, or even abstract concepts. We've pretty much been doing this for thousands of years. Our brains are simply wired to process social information fastest, and by giving social qualities to non-human entities, we make sense of them easier. It's not hard to understand why this happens with things that actually resemble people in some way, or at least have facial features. But bump, bump, bump. Oh my god, I love you. When I saw this, it really just made me go, what in the Industrial Revolution and its consequences? It appears the sci-fi apocalyptic scenario of willing submission has manifested itself in what is essentially a frisbee that cleans your floor. And I'm certain nobody thought about exploiting our innate desire to humanize things when creating the Roomba. Yet here we are with plenty of stories describing how people treat their Roombas like pets, as well as people that have felt less lonely thanks to their Roomba. I mean, so many individuals have grown fond of a glorified electric feather duster no more intelligent than a smart fridge. And perhaps the most solid evidence of this attachment is the fact that despite the existence of trade-in programs, the majority of owners prefer to have their vacuums fixed rather than exchange them for a new one. My baby. Why? How? The Roomba sure as heck ain't Wally. You know, it's not very complex. It has one function. You vacuum the floor.
Oh my god.
In fact, it's kinda stupid. Bump, 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 bump. And that's precisely why people love them. Our attachment to objects is driven by a deeply rooted behavioral and hormonal response, which is an extension of our innate mammalian attachment system. This attachment system leads us to seek out attachment figures who provide us with feelings of comfort and security. Something as simple as a vacuum cleaner helping you feel less lonely by making its presence known to you can become quite dear and important to you. And with people experiencing feelings of loneliness and isolation now more than ever, it's not surprising that this type of behavior is quite common nowadays. Because extreme object attachment in adults can form as a way to compensate for a lack of interpersonal attachment. However, objects can also stimulate a nurturing response, and we can feel motivated to care for objects which are seen as vulnerable or have been abandoned. This could be related to the baby schema or, in my opinion, familiarity. The Roomba at its core just eats dirt all day and gets stuck. Oh, same. This invokes a sense of camaraderie. You can relate to these vacuum discs on some level, and you can certainly relate to them more than you can relate to the perfectly human-like androids down in Uncanny Valley. Because that's just it. The goal of technology is to do things humans cannot. Machines can do it better than us, quicker than us, and it's just really hard to relate to something if its sole purpose is to be perfect at what it does. Not to mention learn from you, steal from you, and then replace you. While humanity exists in imperfection, and imperfection has always been endearing, or at the very least funny, which psychologist Hiroshi Nitono talks about in detail. As evidence shows, people can grow fond of and anthropomorphize a Roomba, but that's at least an object in the physical world. It has nothing to do with my feelings towards a computer program. Well, it kind of does. To give an even more bizarre example of our ability to humanize and connect with just about anything, I'd like to talk about bogosort, also known as stupid sort. Bogosort is a sorting algorithm that has a huge fan base for being notoriously inefficient. The way it works is randomize elements. Are they correctly sorted? No. Okay. Again. Randomize elements. Are they correctly sorted? No. Okay. Again. It's literally just random trial and error, which makes it the slowest, but also possibly the fastest sorting algorithm. Overall, it's kind of useless, but it is fun. And most importantly, it's so human. Because humans don't always look for the fastest way to get from point A to point B. Sometimes we just gotta look around, see what life has to offer. You enjoy going through all the options, bogosort. And if the first one fits, well then that's 1 in like 3.6 million, baby. Look at you, you special little guy. We seem to be more accepting of tech that is slightly inefficient. Enough to need us like a baby, but not too inefficient that makes us angry. Also kind of like a baby that's like crying. What do you want? This isn't odd at all. We find a lot of negative qualities or flaws, ones that aren't related to cruelty, endearing, admirable even, because we can see them as freeing. Someone embracing something that we might be ashamed of is confidence, and it's admirable. There's a lot of appeal and drawbacks. I mean, look at some of the most popular Sanrio mascots. This one is lazy and does nothing. This one's whole shtick is letting out her anger. This one, well, let me talk a bit more about this one. When he came out in 1997, his thing was being cute. But there's already plenty of cute characters. So although this one was initially popular, by the early 2000s, that popularity plummeted. And what was the company's solution to this? The character needed a flaw, so they gave it a butthole, which got it back into top 10 easy. Here's another aspect we can take into consideration. Time. You probably know a dude that doesn't want to switch his busted iPhone 8 that glitches all the time and has like 2 hours of battery life. And you've probably come across plenty of people that firmly believe that, yeah, they used to make things better in the past. Everything sucks now. It's okay. You're not becoming your grandfather. Items may symbolize important memories, represent aspects of someone's identity, or serve as reminders of significant people or events. In fact, some hoarders feel a strong sense of responsibility towards their possessions, believing it's their duty to care for and preserve them. The world has become an overstimulating sensory nightmare. To appear more serious and elegant, technology and design have gone through a sort of beigification. Brands like Muji have a wide appeal because their design is the definition of clarity and gives us a sense of ease. But most software does not follow this trend of reducing the cognitive load. Microsoft removed WordPad, which was free and had just the essentials. It left us with Notepad, which is the software equivalent of sterilization liquid. I mean, where's the icon with the picture and the dog? You can't raise me with dog pattern recognition and take it away from me hoping I either buy Word or use the bloated corpse of Word that is Word Online. You can't blame me for reacting like this. The human brain needs half a second to take in something and make a decision if it likes it or not. Us judging something happens so fast it feels less like a mental process leading to a decision than it does an emotional, instinctual reaction. I know WordPad hadn't been updated in years. It resided in the shadows because it's a replaceable writing app. But this is exactly why my monkey brain constructed a whole narrative around it being the shunned underdog of Microsoft software. And sure, I preferred it before, but now I'm never using anything else. Because yes, I looked for it and installed it on my new laptop. Everything I've ever written has gone through WordPad. Everything I will ever write in the future will go through WordPad. I'm pledging loyalty and feel bad for a bunch of fucking ones and zeros. I'm a being with intellect, emotions, and a soul that says thank you to ATMs because it looks like they spit out my money through a little mouthing. I'm just so angry. And to sum up, it's because of anthropomorphism born out of unhealthy object attachment. The human urge to sympathize with flaws, be it human flaws or object flaws, and time spent doing the latter two. This is why we liked AI better in the spaghetti video, Sarah. This can be summarized as the pratfall effect. It refers to highly competent people often becoming more well-liked after making a mistake. A concept of social psychology that applies to technology now more than ever due to the rise of AI. I mean, you think Siri apologizes and Alexa makes jokes just for funsies? I mean, technically. Subscribe to my show, subscribe to Goblin's Guide. He recently made a video answering if farts can kill. Buy these gamer subs, yes, these specific flavors if you want the energy to go on insane rants like me. And install WordPad, like, right now. I'll wait. I'm done waiting, install the fucking app.